Does really annoying things because he was my cellmate. Imagine waking up in the morning.
Wait, hold on, let's rewind that back. You can't skip past that. That was a bit quick. Wait, start again.
That was his cellmate.
My dad was my cellmate, you man.
People would be saying, how can they support the channel? Chiso by Chiso. I've got tops, got hoodies, I've got the Dragon Ball Z tees, like the Pain and Full Star tees. You lot can support, buy some of the merch. I'll be able to churn out more content. This one I'm just waiting by myself for the moment, and I'll bring out more colours. Please support. New episode. Got my guy Lou. Interesting episode. This one's gonna be a long, split in 3 parts. We've got Gabriel as well. Stay tuned.
Where are you from?
I'm from like Battersea, Wandsworth Road, but it's more closer to like the Stockholm side of things. You know, Wandsworth Road leading towards Vauxhall.
Yes.
Got, like, Lansdowne Estate. Right next to the McDonald's.
Okay.
So that's where I grew up majority of my life. But I did move to Surrey for a couple years.
Okay.
And then I moved back to Battersea again because it didn't work out for us when we lived in Surrey, innit? So I just didn't fit in. I was known as that hard nut from London. Like I had a skinhead, like dad had a skinhead. They got me in a school down there. Literally the second day I was there, all the country boys, they play rugby and innit? Yeah. Some boy thought it's absolutely funny to do a rugby tackle on me. I don't play rugby, we play football in London. My man done a rugby tackle on me, I had to bash him up.
Yeah.
I had to bash him up, bruv. And they come round to my mum and dad's house. And my mum said, Lou, what have you done? I said, you done a rugby tackle on me, mum. And my dad was trying not to laugh, innit? My dad said, come here, pretending to tell me off and that. But I just wasn't fitting in up there, you know? So we had a lot of other trouble with police and involved with my dad. So we moved back to Battersea anyway. I lived with my nan for a few years. And then dad was in and out of prison these sort of ages as well.
What age would you say that you actually noticed or realised that it was actually prison your dad was in and out of, and not? Or was you always aware that it was prison he was going to?
I was kind of always aware of it, you know.
What, did you get told? Oh yeah, dad's gone to the army. You know them stories.
Dad's gone Belmarsh. That's what I was told. Dad's gone to the army. Dad's gone to Belmarsh or Brixton. That's what I was hearing.
Yeah.
So them prisons, they stayed in my head. Brixton, Belmarsh. But I remember mum used to take me on the buses, trains, dragging me to prison visits and that.
I find it interesting you said you didn't fit in, because one would argue and say that obviously you're from England, born in England, Caucasian, not quite as far as I'm concerned. So when you say you didn't fit in, would you say that was more of a class issue or more of the fact that the way you spoke, the way you dressed, why didn't you fit in when you went to Surrey? Because I find that interesting that even in this country you felt that you wasn't wanted there.
I moved there when I was between 10 and 13, and their way of having fun was totally different to mine, whereas I'd probably go around and smash a car window and think that's funny, or I'd climb in someone's house. Or, you know, like hey, these kids in the countryside,
the way you just dropped that
in. These man are on camping and all that sort of stuff. They're making camps in the back garden, they're putting the tents up.
You want to be a Boy Scout?
But I don't want to be laying on the grass and that. Them man just building camps in the back garden and that. I'm not on it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So when I used to play like run outs, running around the estate, knocking on people's doors. Bruv, I remember knocking on someone's door. They stood at the door. They didn't know you've got to run now. they wasn't aware this is the part where we run. I said, what are you lot doing? We've got to go. So yeah, I wasn't just fitting in. I was just having quite a lot of fights up there and that, you know. And I realised in the country it was quite.
What age was that? Sorry, because obviously when did you move to Surrey? Sorry.
When I was like 10, I was up there for like 3 years.
Okay.
So I done like my last year in primary school. Then I done like a year and a half of secondary school before I was kicked out. They actually suspended me because my hair was too short. Because obviously by these ages, my mum and dad are cutting my hair, aren't they? So I'm just getting a 0.5 all over.
Yeah.
Like,
okay. Yeah.
Straight barlid.
Straight barlid, and I got suspended because my hair was too short and it didn't fit their program at the school.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I had to wait for it to grow back. But see up there, it was cool to be intelligent. See all the smart kids and that.
Okay.
They was the cool kids.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm the bad one, but no one really like respected me like that.
Yeah.
Like.
So would you say that it was technically the opposite when you was in sort of South London, that it was cool to be the naughty bag and troublesome, but when you was over there, it was kind of frowned upon to be disruptive?
100% it was that.
Okay.
Like as soon as I moved back to South, I went to a centre in Tooting called Francis Barber. So like people get kicked out of school and stuff. Yeah. Once they realised my behaviour started to get a bit better, then Dad's gone back to prison again. And then they got me to a proper secondary school called Southfields. Yeah. That's where I met a few mutual friends with you guys. Yeah. But it was too many people in my class. There's like 20 men in each class, whereas the centre there's like 6 of us in each class. So I had more one-on-one times with the teachers. Got to Southfields now. There's like 20 people to a class. I just weren't fitting in, bro. Like the workload was all mental and that. Like see the maths class with Mr. Stanley, yeah? See every time Mr. Stanley used to do the dirty, bro. But every time we used to start a lesson, they'd make us start a test. I'd done 2 pages of work in the whole year in that class.
Yeah.
In the end, he thought, you know what, I've had enough of this guy. He used to let me sleep throughout the whole session.
Yeah.
He never used to wake me up because I used to get the right ump with him if he did. In the end, he just left me sleeping throughout the whole lesson.
Yeah.
2 pages of work in the whole year.
But didn't they send reports back then, or was your mum and dad not aware of the fact that you wasn't progressing in?
Your dad went back to prison in that period, didn't it?
Yeah, my dad, he was so in and out. He wasn't probably aware. My mum only tell him so much, whereas my mum would let me get away with a lot of stuff anyway. Like I'd lie to my mum, oh, mum, school wasn't on today, so I'd walk back home or whatever, knowing school is on. So I used to get away with a hell of a lot with mum.
And how much influence, or how much would you say your dad has shaped your growing up? Because it's almost, being from South London, I guess you kind of had semi-cool points for your dad being in and out of jail. As in, if you tell someone, oh, my dad's doing a 9 or a 10, it's not frowned upon. It's almost like his dad's a hard nut, so therefore I'm not going to trouble him. Also, how much would you say it shaped you growing up? And you've done a few naughty things. Yeah. How much would you say it shaped you?
It shaped it up a lot. Like everyone knows my dad ran the estate. Like he's looked after a lot of people. People very aware of what he was about. So when I used to look up to my dad, I know what he's about from a young age. I know he's going out to do armed robberies. I used to think my dad's Superman. I used to think, oh my gosh, like my dad does everything. He's so strong. Like he's got money. I used to look up to him. I didn't ever see anything else. Like I know him going for a day's work. I've never seen my dad do a day's work in his life. So what he was doing become normal to me. Like if he'd come home and there's like a few quid there and it'd make me count it, that's all normal to me.
Yeah.
Like mum, it's the same thing with my mum. My mum, she worked in the pie mash shop for a little while. That was tasty. You see the pies in that pie mash shop, see the top of the pies, that's proper crispy, you know. That pie mash shop, the ones in front of it, is proper, I promise you. But apart from that, my mum didn't work. That's the only job she ever had. So me looking for a 9 to 5, not seeing my mum and dad going to work, why am I going?
Would you say that at what point would you say your parents were aware, or when you say your mum primarily was aware of what you was doing? And when I mean aware, because I've done crime, just that I never got caught. And I believe that my mum wasn't aware of it because I had a job to kind of mask it. But my question is, at what point would you say that your mum was fully aware? Because sometimes parents know what's happening, but they just kind of think the best of their son. But when would you say your mum was aware that, okay, he's in it full time, like he's...
I'd probably say around 14, 15. You know, like as a 14-year-old and you've got a new push bike or something, you've got your new Trek or your new Specialized and that, or new trainers. My mum's probably thinking, where's Lou getting this money for to buy new trainers? She probably knew deep down. And it didn't take long before the doors started getting kicked in and that after that anyway, because I've got an older brother. So we used to...
So how many siblings you got?
I've got 2 other brothers, little brother and older brother. So like me and my older brother used to work together, just doing a bit of green and that around the estate. My mum was pretty aware because I used to buy her lots of nice things and stuff and treat her, look after her. So she was half alright of it. Like obviously she don't want me doing it, but she knows she can't tell me no. She knows that's not.
And she can't tell you no because you're. Why did you say she couldn't? Sorry.
Like she could tell me no. Like
but you're still gonna do it anyway.
I'm still gonna do it regardless, innit? Like I wasn't really a confident person to be able to go and do a 9 to 5, and there's a reason why.
It's interesting you mentioned that.
There's a reason why I don't want to do a 9 to 5. Imagine I went for a job interview at Asda's. Just left school, 16, coming on 17 maybe. There was 6 spaces available. 8 people were in this interview. 6 spaces available. I'm definitely guaranteed a space, I'm thinking. I was one of the 2 who didn't get a space in Asda's. Me! I've just pulled up on my little 50 Gilera, thinking, and I had a pair of Wallabies on. Do you remember the Wallabies? And some boot-cut trousers, covering the whole thing up. I was thinking, I'm thinking I'm doing bits. I'm looking at parts of it. I've got my Wallabies on. I've got the black boot cuts on. Getting this job, I was one of the 2 didn't get a job. And from that, I was thinking, you can't even get a job in Asda's, Lou.
I'm not sure we're laughing. It's not. It's
I was thinking, you've got no luck in this. If you're not getting a job in Asda's, there's nothing wrong with working in Asda's either. You know, I just thought I'd throw that out there. But me thinking there's 6 spaces, and I was one of the 2 didn't get one. It really knocked my confidence down. And I was already selling weed by then, and I was doing very well at that age, selling drugs.
And who would you say brought you into that, into selling weed? Don't say his name, but was it like was it a friend, was it a family relative?
So I've got a lot of older friends, and obviously I've got my older brother who's been in and out of prison for drugs himself.
Okay.
So we've done a lot of things together. I enjoyed it, man. I enjoyed riding around on my push bikes, dropping off little 20-pound bags of weed, eight balls or whatever we used to call them back then. I think all the prices have changed and all that, so I have no idea what the prices are right now.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed all of that, you know. And the only thing is, like, me and my brother used to stand out because I used to hang around with all the black boys, so it's literally just me and my brother. We used to stand out like sore funk, but we used to do so well. Nice gold chains, nice cars. By this time, we got nice cars each. We got little mopeds.
How did that happen though? As in the sort of mixing with black friends? As in that because of the estate? How did that actually happen? Because it's very rare that you find white guys in sets of friendship groups where they're black. You do find it here and there, but how would you say that happened?
You know, Stockholm and Brixton's like that, isn't it? Yeah, you see it in different, It's the same in our area.
There's always that 2 or 3 white guys in the group, isn't there?
Yeah.
So I grew up, like, to the age of 10, I used to hang around with a couple of my white pals, Mick and Birch. And then they started doing well in school. They're doing really well now, like legit jobs, and that's absolutely smashing it. Then I started hanging around with a few of my other friends, and just started grafting and that together, and that, you know, playing football.
Okay.
That's how I met majority of my friends, playing football in the pen.
How much impact would you say being raised around the Battersea, Conestoga area had on you?
I'm not sure, because I think it's kind of the environment you're in, you know. And the environment I was in was running around with the boys in the estate. Like I said, was breaking into everything, selling weed, and just getting involved in little gang fights and stuff like that, you know.
Would you say you was in a gang?
Yeah.
Would you call it a gang? Would you just call it a group of friends? Would you say we was a gang?
No, it was definitely a gang. As much as I cringe about it now, when I look back, I think, like when I look at some of the old music videos, I'm doing silly little gang signs, thinking, you stupid idiot.
Yeah.
Look at you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's something I don't really want to be involved in. Like, you know, like if you got beef with someone and I happen to be there, I'm going to be involved.
Okay.
But I wouldn't go out my way to go over to another estate and start some madness. Yeah. That was never me. I've always been mad respectful, but if I'm there and you got trouble, I'm going to be involved.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? And that's how I kind of got brought into it, because I end up doing the most, and that beef ends up being my beef.
Yeah. So you say primarily all you really wanted to do was just make money?
Make money.
You didn't really care about the whole argy-pargy, it was just give me the money.
I really didn't care about all of that, man. I was just chasing money. I used to try and bring so much people and say, here's a box of weed, just go and do what you got to do with that. Then he'll end up getting losing it or something, then think,
you got to now do something to get it back in.
Yeah, exactly, and vice versa. But yeah, if I could avoid all that gang beef when I was growing up, I would have tried and avoid it. But if I was happen to be there, I'm gonna be involved. You know.
Would you say someone is still a friend if they? So let's say something's happened to me, and let's say, for instance, I ring you, and I say, Louis, you know what, this has happened, and I say, can you get the mash? We need to go. Yeah. Would you still consider me a friend if I didn't go to back you? Bearing in mind that I'm saying to myself, you know what, I don't want this is a mash. We're gonna end up, if you get caught, we're looking at 5 minimum. If I didn't go with you, would you still consider me your friend?
10 years ago, I'd have had a different look on this. I would have cost you. But right now, where I'm at in my life now, I feel like I've outgrown all of that. I'd be like, do you know what? He's got his family to look after now. You don't want to get involved. It's the same thing with me. Like, if he called me now and said, Lou, I need you to come and back me at this. You're not more important than my daughter. You're not more important than my daughter.
Did we understood recently
about
the man phoning me at like 11:30 in the night, and I had to phone him back and say, oh bro, you forget my age. I said, me going back 20 years and me now are not the same people. So I'm like, you need to remember you're phoning. Like, you've got this thought in your head of how I am, but I'm like, I'm not the same person. I'm like, I don't even know if I can fight. How about that? Because it's been that long.
Yeah, the draw looks a bit weak, so I'm probably, No,
but I don't know. You know when it's been that long since you've been in any altercation that it's far removed from you.
I'll
So
freeze if I get banned in my face. Because I'll freeze.
it'll be a shock. Yeah, because it's been a long time.
Yeah. See all the socials and that right now. If you get banged in your face, you're going to become the next me.
Yeah.
It's so long. It's so long. I'm not
Viral.
laying on the floor. Oh, look at Louis. I swear my man used to be on it. It's all long.
A lot of people are still stuck in, from where we're from, they're still stuck in the past, where if you said that to them, they're like, oh, my man's a now.
Yeah.
You need to grow up.
I've been involved with conversations. This is lately with the same sort of things, and there was drama on this estate the other day. I was going to pick up my daughter this day. But I thought, let me go and say hello to the lads, and there's like. I was talking to her, it's like, nah, Lou, I don't even want you to get involved in this. So they actually had enough respect to say, Lou, I don't even want you to be part of this, which I was like, do you know what? Respect for that, you know?
Yeah.
Now, I think one thing we've seen a lot of recently is a lot of guys who were on the road before, they're now sort of coming to give messages to the youth. So you see a lot of podcasts, a lot of people that, and I applaud it. But at the same time, I think it's another cycle where, as much as we don't have social media back then, there was still the older lot still trying to tell you, like, you know, Lou, this is long, man, come and do something else. Now, I think, is there anything that any older person could have actually done that would have stopped you going the way you was going? Let's say you was at the age of between, say, 17 to 20 or 16 to 20. Is there anything that any older person could have said to you that would have made you not do what you was doing? Because a lot of people now are coming off the road as adults. We're 35, 50, and we're not saying it's preaching, but we're telling the kids get off the road. It's pointless. It's no use, no good. But
that's the thing. You say this, yeah. But back in the day, do you think the elders used to say that? No.
No, not that
No,
they didn't. But
no,
I think
they
social
didn't.
media's amplified it.
No, but back in the day, the elders, especially from where we're from, they were the opposite.
You're getting mashes put in your hand.
But the olders are still doing that now anyway. But I think what's happened now is that what's happened with the older lot now is that they've now got other alternatives to make money. And I think that's what's probably changed. Because, for instance, social media is so big now that there's so many different things you can do to make money that I don't think the olders could do back then. But I think, is there anything that you could have been told? Like, is there anything an older person could have said to you when you were between the age of 16 or even 15 to maybe 18, 19 that could have changed the landscape of who Louis was? Or would you say that there's nothing you can tell me, and I was going to do it?
Because at the time, all my older lot was either selling drugs and absolutely smashing it, pulling up in nice cars, so that's giving me motivation. I want to sell more drugs. Whereas the other older lot, they're more affiliated with gang stuff. I feel you got to kind of figure things out for yourself, and it takes something to happen in your life to realize, you know what, I f***ed up, I need to start doing this now. So I think a lot of things you have to figure out for yourself.
So you're technically saying that there
There's
probably isn't much that could have been said that would have changed who Louis was going to be at that point or that age.
I didn't really have no one telling me or trying to encourage me to do something else, you know. It's either pushing more food on me, or I'll be honest, no one's ever put a machine in my hand and said, Lou, go and do this. I can never say someone was my older. Like, if anything, I'm your older's older. Like, I was never that guy to take any bad up from no one, no way. But I feel you've got to figure these things out for yourself. You've got to make a few wrong choices for you to realise, I need to do it like this now. Whereas I'm 36 now, and I look back thinking, Lou, why didn't you just go down that road, man? There's mad. Do you know? I feel there's more opportunities out there for people of our age group right now.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I think that's why a lot of guys are coming off the road, because I think there are a lot more opportunities to make money. And I think when you sort of I've never been on the road. I've done criminal activities, but I've never been in gangs. I've never had to do any sort of those. My friends have, but I never have. And I always wonder, even when now we talk to the younger, I wonder how much. I always say, what's the alternative? So I think I could be wrong, but I'm suggesting if you were shown another route that could have made you money, would you have stopped selling drugs?
No.
Or was you so caught up in that you actually enjoyed it? Like, I actually like this. This is fun, this is.
I absolutely enjoyed it. Like, I used to I remember watching Lord of the Rings, like the box set, only 3 of them was out at the time. I remember wearing up a whole box of weed, like into £10. This is when we had cling film days. We didn't have the little bags where you can just do doop.
Yeah.
I had the cling film. You used to cut the half of cling film, then quick. It took me I watched a whole 3 Lord of the Rings, like just went up into 10. But it was mad therapeutic.
Yeah. And you're saying that irrespective of there being an alternative, you probably still would have.
Yeah, like the only person who was trying to encourage me to do something different was my dad. My dad was always, Lou, you need to get a trade. But it's kind of hard hearing these things when they're not doing it. Like imagine you're my pops and you're just an armed robber, but you're saying, no, I think you should be a bricklayer.
Yeah.
I think you should be a bricklayer, Dad. Why are you not doing it? Do you know what I mean?
How many years in total has he done so far?
Hey, Dad's done 9 on this one. Before this, he done a 10.5. He done 7.5 out of that.
Yeah.
Then he got nicked. Got another 7. He's done at least over 20. He's been in jail at least 20.
Yeah.
Easy, yeah. But he's built for jail, you lot, man. My dad's built for jail. You won't hear him moaning. Anyone who like knows my dad, he just walks around with a smile on his face. He looks forward to going work. I don't know if you lot have been in jail, but he actually wakes up in the morning.
Yeah.
He does really annoying things because he was my cellmate. Imagine waking up in the morning.
Wait, hold on, wait. Let's rewind that back. You can't skip past that. That was a bit quick. Wait, start that again.
His cellmate.
My dad was my cellmate, you man. My dad was. I know, my dad was. He was my cellmate. Remember, my dad was my Cody on this last case, you know.
Wait,
You gotta keep with the family sometimes. You know what I mean?
what do you mean? Wait, hold on a minute. Wait, so basically you and your dad was on the same trial together, in the same case together.
Yeah.
Okay, let me just rewind back. So when you're going to do this move or do whatever you're going to do, so I'm trying to understand. So the two of you are just sitting at home or in a room and saying, like, can you explain? I'm back. Can you explain the breakdown of?
Yeah, I don't want to go too deep into detail, but I'll just
but-
refer to him as my Cody.
Yeah.
Obviously, just broke it down, and certain people's been doing it for years. They know the ins and out of timing, which little road to go down, and all that sort of stuff. He was never going to stop me from doing armed robberies with my other friends. So he's just thinking, if this ever comes on top, they'll probably bubble him up.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Whereas if he comes with me, none of there's
It sounds. Yeah, I get it.
And remember, my dad can't stop me from committing another armed robbery. So what would you rather do? Me go and commit with some idiots and someone eventually bubbling me up, or come under his wing? And there's no grassing going on. You know the ins and outs of each other's case. You know exactly what you need from each other. But yeah, I remember on the day of the robbery though. Yeah. See, like 2 weeks. Well, let me just go through it. 2 weeks before this robbery took place, I've gone to have a little look at it to make sure everything's good, see where the cameras are. I've got there. The guy delivering the money this week was about this tall. I was thinking this is going to be sick. Hey, I've got there thinking this is going to be sick. 2 weeks. It's going to wait 2 weeks. I've got there the day of the robbery. Bro, I'm sitting there. I've got the machine in my hand. I'm thinking, yeah, I'm just going to grab this little dweeb. Bro, this bloke got out of the van. He's about 20 stone. I was like, huh? I was like, this ain't how it's meant to go. Bruv, and my Cody's looked at me like, you still want to do this? I was like, come on, I'm here now, innit? I have to do this. I've got out. When I started the gun to him, my man swung for me, bro. I was thinking,
what do you mean?
my man swung for me, yeah. And I'm boxing at this time, so I've kind of rolled it, and then I've bucked him with a gun, innit? I've got him, you know where the helmet's? I've got him right under the helmet. But you know when you're kind of scared and you don't realise how many times you've hit someone. So I must have hit him at least 5 times with the gun because I knocked some of his teeth out, and I actually regret that as well. You know, it wasn't even meant to go there. I'm meant to point the gun. He's meant to give me the money. It's meant to be like that. My man swung for me. I was thinking, if he grips me, I'm in trouble. 20 stone of pure fat and muscle, bruv. Anyway, I've managed to knock him out. He's fallen on top of the money. He's laying on top of the money. This geezer's dench, bruv. I've had to do a deadlift. He's laying on top of his money. I've done a deadlift to get him a sumo one as well. I've had to do a sumo deadlift to get him off the money. Bro, let me check my phone. Imagine I pulled a muscle on that.
You're on the floor.
I've got the cassette now. I've got the money. Got back in the motor. Anyway, my Cody's looked at me. He said, "Ian, where's Adju?" I was like, he's thinking it's funny. So I managed to do the changeover. Got in the second car. Then got away and that, you know. And my house got put through about 3 days later, only because my Cody's car was shown in the, on the ANPR camera, 10 miles away from the area, but it was travelling in convoy with the car that was used. So that's what kind of linked it to me. They couldn't see inside the stolen car or whatever. Couldn't see me, because I was on bail for like 9 months. Because there was no evidence, literally the 2 cars travelling in convoy, and then the phones come into play, the cell sites, and they had me in that morning, an hour after the robbery, they had me in a 5 mile radius of the area, and then they put Obo on me, they followed me to Vista Village. They all signed up to my gym. I used to go to gym. They all signed up to my gym, bro. I remember I used to stand there, just geezer standing next to me, pretending he's got his earphones in while I'm training, just gathering intelligence and listening to my phone calls. But I'm so aware of my surroundings.
Yeah.
I actually followed him out the gym. I phoned the youngsters. I said, follow him into that building, and then literally they followed him to the building. He had to get on the phone to his colleagues and that. They come and rescued him. Yeah, no, there's proper on it, man. That was the main bit of evidence, was the cell side that got me guilty. And then, you know, when they start putting all the little circumstantial bits of evidence together, it's painting a picture now. And plus, I got previous for cash and transits when I was 18 years old.
Yeah.
Got nicked in Stretton, bro, man.
Well, High Road.
High Road, man. He told me to do bench.
I think I actually remember that one, you know.
05.
I think I actually remember that one.
Bruv, imagine, I've run into the train station, filling out the cash machine in there.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, yeah, sweet. Run into the train station. I've grabbed the cassette with my Cody, and I've looked up. You know, there's armed police already in the police station. There was some high alert. There was some high alert thing going on at the train station with like bombings and that going off.
Yeah.
They already had the machines. I've got the box. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah.
I've grabbed it now. I started running, but I frisbeed it back at them to try and knock a few in their legs.
Yeah.
I missed everyone. But anyway, they started chasing man, yeah. And I got to the back of. Do you remember Caesars?
Yeah. I remember this.
Hey, you went years ago, Caesars, isn't it? Man's getaway driver is meant to be at the back of Caesars. So I got there. He's not in the car, bruv.
But the car's there, he's not there.
The car's there. He's not in there. He's not in there, so I've had to carry on running. Remember, I've got about 20-year-old Bill with guns chasing me.
Yeah.
I've actually got away from him, got to the end of the road. I've seen my driver. I'm like, come.
Yeah.
But these times he's near the police, so the police in court said I was doing a money sign to them. But this is me telling the driver, come now, innit? Bruv, a bull van come from by me. I was like, I looked at my other code. I said, bruv, just go guilty, bruv. We're done, yeah. Just go guilty. And then we went to Stretton police station. The driver drove past me. I'm in handcuffs. He drove past me in the dinger, drove past us in the ball van, look at us. I was like, yeah, your mum, bruv. Had my Avrex jacket in there as well. Remember the Avrex? The reversible one.
Did you get it?
No. Man said they see him driving his Typhoon with my Avrex on, bruv.
Yeah.
Like, the reversible one, the orange sleeve and the grip. It's bad, bruv.
What would you say was the turning point of when you finally decided that it's enough?
Bruv, when I got this sentence, so I got the 16 years, and then they gave me the extra year for the money, so I ended up with 17 years. See, my first prison visit when my daughter come in. She was 2 years old, just over 2, and I'd done everything for that little girl for that 2 years I was on road. When it come to time to leave that prison visit, and she looked at me and said, you come home now, daddy. Bro, got goosebumps right now. I said this a couple times to people now, and it gives me the chills every single time. It hit me right there. So I've let that little girl down. And that's why I always, in jail, why it was so easy for me and why I didn't get involved in people's stupidness, because I think, you're not more important than my daughter. I'm not catching extra days for you. My daughter's more important than you. Because there's rare occasions, like I was in jail with a lot of the Brixton ones and a lot of the Stockport ones who my ones used to beef with. And I could easily avoid the situation, and they knew exactly who I was, I knew who they was. But you know when you're on a wing with someone or you keep seeing the same person, you're like, cool. After months have gone by, you're seeing them, cool, bro. I started having conversations with these people who, we used to have mad shootouts with them. But now we're having civilized conversations. How's your gym going? They're actually doing little circuits on the yard asking for gym advice. Bruv, they're the same as us. They just live over there.
You lot's part of Stockholm was mad. Because I can remember, I swear I told you a story one time when I was going to work.
Okay, go on.
This might be like 2010, 2011. So I'm going past Hotspot. I said, well, I'll go on to the man them there. They're like, oh, you're off to work? I'm like, yeah. Across the road, I seen a couple men buy cost cutters. I said, well, I'll go on. And I'm chatting to the girl who works in the tube station. She's from Stockholm at the time. On the way back, later on in the night, she goes, oh, there was a shootout. She goes, bullets have ricocheted and hit, you know those boards where they put the quote of the date? It's hit the sign and people are ducking. I said, who? She goes, oh, both sides that you were saying hi to. I said, Stockholm's mad, ridiculous. And it's literally across the road.
One road. Like,
one road.
You got Hotspot here, you got the main road, then you got like G Street here, one park, and then you got my road, Wandsworth Road. It's all within 5-minute walk of each other.
Yeah, and they're all beefing.
And we're all beefing.
And would you say the beef is just a case of something being so stupid as someone looking at someone at the beginning, or someone maybe jerking someone and then...
Yeah, I think that's how the whole beef kind of started with the Hotspot ones. Was I think it goes as far back as like 2001, 2002. I think someone nicked a box of weed off someone.
And that was it.
Like, I don't say no names, but I think a box of weed went missing from one of the sides, and we went to back him, they've gone to back them, and it's all started.
And that's how the two ends just ended up.
Yeah.
Not even ends, the two areas or whatever, estates.
Stockholm was a mess.
Because a lot of them, some of them, I used to go and check my pal Charlie round hotspot. Like, we used to go on our little mopeds and that back in the day and that, you know. So I used to go around there quite a lot anyway. But from them situations, I used to just avoid it. You know, like, we both sides now. I've got friends all doing life sentences over this stupidness.
Yeah.
Like, I've got a friend doing 33. They've killed some of my people. They've killed some of them. And the people that are dying, they're not really involved like that.
Okay.
All the people that are dead are hardly anything to do with this beef.
Yeah, so there's basically, they're not people that hang around and kind of mark the register.
Basically, you were in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah.
Yeah.